There's a warning from the Pentagon. ISIL is bouncing back.
Despite losing its territorial caliphate, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria solidified its insurgent capabilities in Iraq and was resurging in Syria.
Now, there's a pretty emphatic argument in the report that the reason for ISIL's resurgence in Syria is because the role and presence of U.S. troops in the country has decreased. You'll recall Trump's dramatic announcement of a full withdrawal from Syria last year.
We have won against ISIS. We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home.
Now, the media says Trump made a rash decision. Now, the argument of the report was pretty clear. More U.S. troops means less ISIS. Prior to the withdrawal, there were roughly 2,000 U.S. troops in Syria. Now, only a fraction of them remain. But things are not that simple. Terrorists are regrouping in Iraq, where there are currently 5,000 U.S. soldiers. In a moment of candor, Donald Trump explained the policy of troop withdrawal.
I said, I want to bring our troops back home. The place went crazy. They want to keep, you have people here in Washington, they never want to leave. I said, you know what I'll do? I'll leave a couple of hundred soldiers behind. But if it was up to them, they'd bring thousands of soldiers in.
Now, at the height of the intervention, there were over 100,000 U.S. troops in Afghanistan. There were actually over 170,000 U.S. troops in Iraq at one point. And neither of those countries can be described as terrorist-free zones. The USA has been in Afghanistan for roughly 18 years. It's been in Iraq for 16 years. And it's possible that this report could be a cue for hawks on Capitol Hill to start all over again.
Certainly the men around President Trump do not plan to withdraw the force. Their idea, as it's explained by this special envoy, Jeffrey, he says that the United States has the leverage to force Assad to leave office. And that by keeping all the water, oil, and agricultural resources of Syria, which are heavily weighted in the northern part, away from the Syrian government, blocking trade with Iraq, sanctions, crushing sanctions, they're going to bring Syria to its knees. That's what the Americans insist is going to happen. My personal opinion is that the United States will not stay in Syria for the long duration. The region is inhospitable. None of the regional powers wants the United States there.
So it seems like this argument of more U.S. troops equals less terrorists might make a little bit of sense. But if you look at the track record of U.S. military intervention since 9/11, the record shows quite the opposite. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.